Hey, what's up? It's Danaya Azure. Be sure to follow me all over social media at Danaya Azure, DANAYAAZURE, and like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/Danaya Azure Radio, and be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Danaya Azure.
Hello, Prophecy, and welcome to Danaya Azure Radio. How are you?
Hello, how are you? It's so good to be with you today.
Absolutely. So, I met this incredible woman on Clubhouse in the 413, and at this point, y'all have heard that a lot, because I have so many amazing people that are part of the 413, and Prophecy just has this incredible energy, and she does these amazing rooms, and she's just such a joy to know. So, Prophecy, tell everybody who you are and what you do, please.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, so my name's Teresa Augustinelli from the Philadelphia area, known as Prof T on Clubhouse. I am a licensed clinical psychotherapist for 20 years. I also am a certified John Maxwell leadership coach, speaker, and teacher. And I also teach at a local university here in the Philadelphia area. So I combine educational, psychological, and professional coaching and counseling to help people up-level in any area of their life, get through some of those blockages that keep you back from reaching your full potential, and help you get through your trauma and drama to victory and success. And that's what I do. Been loving doing it for 20 years now. And I'm glad to be here tonight. Thank you again.
Most definitely. And so you just wrote a book as well, correct?
I did. Yep. I have a book that it is coming out this month. It is called The Grid System. It is a book on changing the paradigm of your mental thinking, your mental blockages, and to help you to change how you think so that you can go from negative to positive. That book is coming out any day now.
Yes, I'm so excited to check that out. And Prophecy is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. So how did you originally get connected with the 413?
So I was in a Clubhouse room with somebody, a mutual friend, and I got a note from somebody in that room who asked me to join the 413, come on stage, meet us tomorrow. You'll love this group. Hope you can make it. That was back in November. And, so I jumped on. It was like 6:32 in the morning. I was like, what the what? And, jumped in and loved it. And it's been such a wonderful experience so far.
Most definitely. Yeah, shout out to the 413 and Steve Marshevsky, for running that room by himself, modding by himself, and getting up at 3:38 a.m. Like, because he's on the West Coast. I know because I'm on the West Coast right now. And sometimes I'm like, how do I do this? I don't know how he does it every day, but he finds the strength to do so, and it's just beautiful because you're able to connect with so many amazing people from around the world. But your room is called What's Your Superpower, correct?
Yes, What's Your Superpower?
So how did that start?
So that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. So when the pandemic hit, a lot of my friends and colleagues were going out of business, and I didn't want them to go out of business. Just because they weren't doing business, I didn't want people to go out of business. And, what I do completely stopped. I mean, we just were all turned upside down. So I started my Facebook Live, and I started interviewing people and introducing them to the world. So I kind of created my own podcast, and I was just getting to know people, and I found that people were just very discouraged, and people were struggling, their mental health was being challenged, finances. People were walking around in pajamas for days, and nobody had to get dressed, and so when I got on Clubhouse, I started a room, and I realized that we are all born with greatness. We're all born a superhero. We all have that God-given talent or gift that we are born with. But life has a way of knocking you down, taking the wind out of your sails. And I wanted to see people walk in their greatness. And I realized that many of us, through the pandemic, many of my superhero friends, including myself, our superhero capes were being torn and tattered, and maybe some of us threw it in the drawer and forgot about it. And so when I started the Clubhouse room called What's Your Superpower, it was my intent to get people to pull that superhero cape out of the drawer, pick it up, put it on nice and tight, wear it loud and proud, shoulders back, head up, eyes wide open, and walk in your greatness and walk in your superhero God-given talent. So that's why I called the room What's Your Superpower?
Awesome. And Prophecy is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. So tell us a little bit about your book. How did that get started? And what goals do you have to accomplish with it?
So thank you. That's a great question. So when I was 26 years old, my husband died suddenly from a blood clot to the lung. And I had a 6-year-old little boy, and I had no job, no skills, few resources, and very little money. And I was completely devastated. And I lived in a very remote area in Pennsylvania, so I didn't really have neighbors, and it wasn't a city. And I realized that I was struggling, and I started to self-sabotage and self-medicate, and I was getting more depressed, and I wasn't being the kind of mother that I felt I needed to be. So I moved back to the Philadelphia area, and I was traumatized, and so I had to start all over again. And a year later, my brother died in a car accident, which devastated me again. And while I was still trying to get my life back together, I was really seeing that I wanted to know why I was self-sabotaging. I wanted to know what people do when they're traumatized. So I began to further my education and delve deeper into human development and psychology. And as I started to see things I was learning, I was amazed at some of the classes I was taking and the knowledge I was getting, and I wanted to share this knowledge with the world. And I had a fear of public speaking, so I really wasn't aspiring to be a public speaker. But I saw that when I spoke at my husband's funeral back that day, I felt like I connected with the audience, but I still had so much work to do on my confidence and my public speaking skills. So I continued to further my education. And I realized that the things that I was learning, I was able to implement in my own life, and I wanted to help other people implement. So I realized that we are all born with what I call a psychological grid. And by the time we're 2 or 3 or 4 years old, we've downloaded enough mental DNA, I call it. We've downloaded enough subconscious that takes us well into our adult years. And I found that a lot of how we are as adults is based on the fact that by the time we're 2 or 3 or 4 years old, downloading all of that information from those early influencers like our parents, caregivers, schoolyard bullies, teachers, community leaders, political leaders. I found that it's how we process money, relationships, career, spirituality. And I wanted to know why what I was doing was not as successful as some other people I saw who were doing the same thing I was doing. Now, in that, a lot of other traumatic things had happened. And so I decided that I wanted to write a book because I saw the people that I was helping. And there were certain characteristics, and there were 4 components that I saw that were the common denominator of why people were self-sabotaging. And so I turned it into a curriculum, and it's called the GRID system. And it's a two-part system to help you break through those things that are holding you back, shift your mindset, and to overcome trauma and drama simply by shifting the paradigm, which is how you view things, how you process things.
Right.
And so it's called the GRID system. And the GRID stands for G, getting honest, knowing where you are and where you want to go, and get honest with yourself. Have a good talk with yourself. And the R stands for replacing. We have to replace those negative things. We have to change how we process and replace the negative for positive. The I stands for invest. You have to invest in yourself. If you want to grow mentally, spiritually, if you want to grow professionally, personally, you have to invest in yourself. And I firmly believe in investing. I had to go back to school and learn and invest in myself and my personal professional development. So I invested in myself and then invest in others. The key component to investing, we have to be able to invest in other people's lives and help people to become successful. And then the D was for discipline. You have to develop the mental muscle of discipline, because without a disciplined life, without discipline, you cannot reach your goals. You have to be disciplined in your dreams, in your goals, and in your desires for success. So that's how the GRID system came to be. It's called the GRID system, and I am so proud of that book. And it's also an autobiographical book about what I've been through and how I went from trauma and drama to victory and success.
Definitely. And Prosty is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. I know you lost your parents super quick, back to back. What was the main thing that helped you to be able to get through that and keep your sanity? Because, man, it was a lot.
Yeah, and you know what? When my mom was ill with dementia, it was something that we knew would come, and she was very strong and very feisty little old Italian lady. Her name was Teresa, and she fought to stay alive, and she fought to stay with us, and eventually we knew that day would come. And my mother passed away on November 19th. Well, my father got COVID and ended up in the hospital, and we had to cancel her funeral because he was sick. And so when he got out of the hospital, we were planning to have a memorial service. My dad went back in the hospital and died on Christmas Day. So I lost both of them suddenly within a few weeks apart of each other, and I was devastated. Now, you have to understand, my other brother committed suicide several years ago. So I was suffering the loss of two brothers, the loss of a husband, and now both of my parents, my rocks, were gone. And here's how that influenced me. And you know that. You were one of the people who called me consistently. Are you okay? Prof T, get on this call, jump on. You okay? How you doing? 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock at night. Those were things I'll never forget and always value. But my parents always taught me to never give up and stay strong. And so I had this book, but I wasn't getting it published because it was in my computer. And that's what propelled me into my purpose. Having them passed away, gone, I feel like I'm channeling their lives through what I'm doing and keeping their legacy. So I want to be able to provide a legacy for my son and my grandchildren, because my parents provided a legacy for me, and this book is really dedicated to them, and it's the reason that I do what I do. I help people. I help people who are struggling mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. I work with law enforcement. I work with homeless population. I work with people who have significant mental health issues, as well as CEOs of companies and political leaders, helping with coaching and public speaking skills. And this book is dedicated to all of them who want to up-level in their life and want to overcome trauma and drama and be able to share their message with the world, because we all have a story, and we
right.
all are superheroes. So that's
Absolutely.
why I've written the book.
Wow. That's powerful. And Pastor T is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. So with everything that you've been through, what would you say that you want your legacy to be?
I would say my legacy would be, no matter what you've been through, no matter where you've been, you can still make it. You can still reach your goals. And I want to close with a story, because this is a story I closed my book with, if I may. Danaya, would that be okay?
Say one more time.
I'd like to just share the story, which is how I help people to stay strong. I just want to share the story that I closed my book with. And this is about Pete. Pete was a parrot that I met. I was out on a friend's boat one day, and we stopped to tie up boats with everyone else's boat, and you just kind of hang out and talk with different people. And this one particular boat, they allowed us onto their boat, and they had Pete the parrot. Pete was a rescue. Pete was abused, and he was starved. He was stuck in a little tiny cage that was way too small for him, and all his feathers fell out because of all the stress, and he was traumatized. And so when they got him, he was unable to lift his head because he was so weak. He was so traumatized and stuck in this little cage for so long that he could barely lift his head. Well, they taught him how to lift his head. His feathers grew back, and they taught him that when you called him handsome, he would lift his head and spread his wings. And so I tried it, and I went over to him, and I said, "Hey, Pete, you're handsome." Well, he lifted his head, and he spread his wings, and he squawked really loud to say, "I know." And I tried it again because I wanted to see, and he did. I called him handsome, and he lifted his head, and he spread his wings. And I tried it one more time. And I said, "Pete, you're so handsome." And he squawked. He lifted his head, spread his wings, and he just looked so majestic. And I've realized in that moment that no matter what you've been through, no matter what we've been through, no matter what anyone's been through, if someone takes the time to love you and invest in you, if someone takes the time to show you your value and your worth, and you really tap into your inner superhero, that all of us, no matter what we've been through, we can still lift our head and spread our wings and show the world that we made it. And that's what I want to leave as my legacy, no matter what I've been through, no matter what you've been through, no matter what we've been through. This pandemic, we made it. We made it. And we will continue to make it.
Most definitely. Absolutely. Prophecy is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, social media, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so I am on LinkedIn under Professor Teresa Augustinelli. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Clubhouse on What's Your Superpower Room. And I have a website you can click on, Glenn Mills CC, Glen as Nancy, MILLS CC for Glenn Mills Coaching and Consulting. That's my company.com. So I'm very easily accessible, and anyone can reach out to me at any time, and I will be glad to get right back to them.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Prophecy. I truly appreciate you. You are so amazing, so inspiring, and it's a pleasure for me to know you. It's a pleasure to always come in your rooms. You're so loving and supportive to everyone that walks through that door. So truly appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well, and I'm so glad that I had this opportunity to speak with you. Thank you for the honor of being on your show. It's a fantastic show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye now. Bye, everybody. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up? It's Danaya Azure. Be sure to follow me all over social media at Danaya Azure, DANAYAAZURE, and like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/Danaya Azure Radio, and be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Danaya Azure.
I don't wanna break up with you, cause I know for a fact it would be a mistake. Cause you would finish me faster than you do your makeup. And I'd be down for the count, and I might never wake up. I may never wake up. I'd be a liar if I said I'm done with you. Cause you're a man-eater and savage, baby. I'm your food. No, I'll never play with fire, but I'll burn for you. And if I ever break your heart, then I'm gonna. Ooh, there's something about you that makes me not wanna F with you. There's something about you that makes me not wanna fall for you. There's something about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's something about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's something about you. There's something about you. There's something about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's something about you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't wanna fight her, cause you see the bigger picture, so I don't sweat the small stuff. There's no need to shovel the past in my face or to dig up those skeletons, leave them behind in the closet and locked up. Girl, I surrender. I'd be a liar if I said I'm done with you. Cause you're a man-eater and savage, baby. I'm your food. No, I'll never play with fire, but I'll burn for you. And if I ever break your heart, then I'm gonna. Ooh, there's something about you that makes me not wanna F with you. There's something about you that makes me not wanna fall for you. There's something about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's something about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's something about you that makes me not wanna F with you. There's something about you that makes me not wanna fall for you. There's something about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's something about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's something about you. There's something about you. There's something about you. There's something about you.